Howdy folks, I'm Puny Pollywog, playfully prancing through pretty places.
I'm Amber.
And here are more pretty places for us to pounce through, or prance through. I don't even know how to say words anymore, folks. So let's get started on that. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Anonymously Roasting Someone's Art Online for 6 months and then finding out it was my own mom? I need to get this off my chest because I genuinely don't know how to process what happened last weekend. For some context, I'm really into a pretty niche hobby. A miniature painting, tiny figurines, incredible detailed work, it takes forever. There's a small online forum where people post their work and comments are anonymous by default. About 6 months ago, this one user started posting regularly under the name Copper Brush, and their style just kind of drove me crazy. Overuse of one specific highlight technique, always the same color palettes, weirdly confident captions for work that I thought was pretty mid. I wasn't cruel about it, but I definitely left some pointed critiques. Multiple times, okay, many times. Well, last Saturday, my mom mentioned that she's been getting into a new hobby and wanted to show me something. She pulls up the forum on her laptop. She's Copper Brush. She has been Copper Brush this whole time. She showed me her favorite post with the most engagement and said that she was really proud of it despite some of the haters. I'm the hater in the comments. I just smiled and said the figurines look great. I have not told her, and I don't know if I ever will. She has been doing this hobby for 6 months. She clearly loves it, and honestly, looking at her recent stuff with fresh eyes, it's actually gotten pretty good. Am I the jerk for never telling her, or for the original comments, or both? I truly cannot decide. Alright folks, what do you think?
I mean, I think you absolutely are the jerk for the original comments. And I think this is a good opportunity, OP, to reflect on why you felt the need to bully someone who is getting into a hobby. Like, anytime you try something new, you're not going to be good right off the bat. And honestly, it's okay if you never get good, quote unquote, good at something if you're enjoying it. It's great that the mom has seen growth in her work and, seems to be, improving her techniques and whatnot. But even if her work was always, quote unquote, mid, so what? What is the problem with art that isn't like the next masterpiece existing in the world?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's actually a really good point. It's like art is a, endeavor that anyone can engage in. And, having people say stuff like this to, new artists can be really hard and discouraging. And I think that's comments like these from people who, aren't constructive and aren't building people up that can really discourage people from actually continuing in art and pursuing their passions. So
Yeah, well, and there's a huge difference between constructive criticism and bullying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's fine if you have rapport with someone and you know they're open to feedback to point out areas where they could improve, but it should generally be part of like not just straight up critique. It's always helpful if you can point out the things they're doing well and improving into.
Yeah.
But random strangers on the internet, like, why just go and bash them?
Well, yeah, and I mean, I think it depends on a lot. Like, if you're looking for and seeking feedback on and trying to become a better artist, then that's certainly a good place to go is an online art forum. But when you have somebody who's constantly hounding you and pointing out every single little tiny flaw in something, or even trying to saying your choice of this and this, your artistic choices are terrible. At a certain point, that's no longer constructive criticism, but it's just pure criticism and for the sake of criticism, right? And so, yeah, constructive criticism in the art world is fine, right?
Yeah.
But being a mean jerk about it, not so fine.
And so I think this is an important thing to keep in mind is that behind the screen is always a person. It may not always be someone you personally know, but they deserve the same empathy that you would give to your loved ones. If you wouldn't tell your mom, this sucks, you should stop doing art, why would you say that to anyone else?
Yeah, someone else who could be someone else's mom, But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. But folks, let's see what the Wheel of Judgment has to say. Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP's earned. You're the jerk and you should apologize to humanity.
I mean, that one's pretty fair.
Yeah. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Playing Video Games Even Though My Fiance Hates It? I'm a 26-year-old female, and I'm a PC gamer, and I like to play video games and unwind after a stressful day. And my fiance, John, a 31-year-old male, hates it when I play video games. I've been playing video games since I was 9, when my brother taught me how to play Call of Duty, and in the last year, I've gotten into competitive gaming, specifically Marvel Rivals. I have a few people I've met through the community, mostly men. This is important. And I like to play on the weekends. We are all adults with jobs after all. And I'm the only one with a family besides a few of them having significant others, and none of their girlfriends complain. None of them feel threatened by me because while I may be what some would consider attractive, no one really brings that up. Recently, John has been making petty side comments or making fun of me when I play a game, and we've had in the past discussions about how he hates that I wear a headset and he cannot hear what people are saying to me. My system doesn't have speakers. I have a professional mic because I used to stream, and I like a good quality setup, and my mic will pick up some sound if I play my game through the speakers, and it's easier to hear footsteps with a headset on, which I've explained to John. Even though, again, no one is discussing anything outside of the game besides probably good movies or TV shows / anime that they've been watching. You know, pretty normal topics of discussion friends have. John likes to make rude comments about my friends that my friends can hear, and claims they are all jobless, ugly losers that are lying about having girlfriends so they sound cool, and he says highly inappropriate things to me, making sure that my friends can hear so they know that he gets to do those things to me, and truthfully, it makes me uncomfortable. Not because I hide my relationship, but because I just don't want those people to know those things about me, as I'm a private person to an extent, and they don't really need to know what I'm into, if you know what I mean. John also gets mad if I mute my mic when he starts talking to me that way, and tells me to let them hear it unless I have something to hide. I've already given up on streaming because John doesn't like people seeing me and thinks that I'm seeking attention, so I've completely done away with the streaming, which I don't like, as it was a side hustle for extra income, and I've put in well over $2,500 on my entire setup. But I've compromised with him, as we've been together nearly 7 years, and I don't want him to think that I don't respect him. I get nervous sometimes getting on my game if he is home because he immediately huffs and leaves the room, and I've developed a habit of only playing when he leaves to go out with a friend or fishing or anything like that. But I feel like that's not normal. I've tried to have a conversation with him about it and discuss things with him, and he just shuts me down and gives me the silent treatment. Am I the jerk for playing video games even though John hates it? Or is this a him issue that he needs to work out on his own due to me trying to speak with him regarding these things and him ignoring it? I don't want this to affect my relationship, but I also feel like if he does not have to give up his hobby, why should I have to give up mine? All right, folks, what do you think?
OP, I think it is time that you take a step back and evaluate your relationship. This is not healthy. This is abuse. He is saying very disgusting and degrading things about you with the intention of making things too uncomfortable for you to continue.
Mm-hmm.
He is a deeply jealous individual, it seems like. He wants to mark you as his property, and he does not want you to be able to interact with other men whatsoever. This is not healthy. This is controlling.
Yeah, I think that if OP had friends that were men outside and the, and everyday type of interactions, he would be just as upset and petty and say these kinds of things around them too. I would be curious if OP does have friends like this. This is not a healthy relationship. OP shouldn't have to give up their hobbies. He's not giving up any of his hobbies, and it's really strange to me that he's like, oh, I don't like people seeing you. They've been together for 7 years. He knew what she was about, right?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is like he knew it, but it's again about control, about
Yeah.
keeping her under his thumb and making sure that she has no one else, no other guys.
Yeah, well, it seems like this has gotten like more and more restrictive over time,
And
right?
unfortunately, that's how abusive relationships often work. They don't start out that way.
Yeah.
You know, the abuser waits until the person is so deeply in love with them that
Mm-hmm.
that's when they start like making the cut things off and cut people off.
Yeah, and he's making it purposefully painful for OP to play these video games because he doesn't want her to play them, right?
Right, and that's the manipulation here is instead of outright forbidding her from doing it, which is
Mm-hmm.
clear, obvious, like, oh, that's control, he is just trying to make it so deeply uncomfortable for OP to the point of revealing their intimate life
Yeah,
without OP's consent. Um, that and that's just as manipulative and controlling. Like
yeah,
this is abuse at the end of the day. It is control. It is manipulation.
yeah, and I would think that it would be in OP's best interest to get out of this relationship, but also talk to a therapist and kind of work through things. I'm sure there are a lot of other traumatic things that he's been doing to her, and that OP would be probably it would be a good idea for OP to be able to discuss these things with a professional. This again, like he isn't putting her comfort. He's putting he's weaponizing her discomfort. He is weaponizing anything that he can against her, and that's not what a loving partner does, right? A loving partner supports you and your hobbies, and if a hobby is a deal breaker for a partner, then that just needs to be a deal breaker, and you need to leave the relationship. You just can't be like, no, you can't do this hobby, right?
Right.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for getting mad at my girlfriend for pranking me with a fake knife? So I'm a 19-year-old male, and I've been with my girlfriend, an 18-year-old female, for about a year. We have a great relationship, but this particular case was just too much for me. She's really into TikTok and likes to do trends and pranks. Yesterday, we were just hanging out in the kitchen. She was making a sandwich while I was doing something else when she asked me to get the mustard out of the fridge. I handed her the mustard and she immediately got mad and said I grabbed the wrong kind. I sort of just laughed at it because it was so out of character for her, and also because we only had one type of mustard. I asked her if she was good, but then she got even more mad. At this point, I was just kind of worried and thought that she was going through something and was just releasing it onto me. I stepped closer, asking her if everything was all right. Then, out of nowhere, she suddenly stabs me with a knife that she was using to spread the ketchup on her sandwich. I was so caught off guard, and she did it so fast that I wasn't able to dodge or stop her. I started freaking out and screaming because I swear I felt it pierce my skin. When I looked down, the ketchup from the knife looked like blood, and I'm extremely squeamish, which then made me literally pass out, like full on blacked out for 5 seconds or something like that. When I woke up, she was laughing and showing me the knife collapsing into the handle. It was one of those prop knives that people use on TikTok. I was still out of it and kind of shaking, so I just asked her why she would do that to me. She told me that it was for a TikTok, and then she showed me the video. I admit my reaction was objectively funny, but I didn't find it funny at the time because I was still sort of loopy and mad. I told her that I just didn't find it funny at all, and that I actually felt pain. She just said that I was being dramatic and lying. She just kept brushing it off. That sort of tipped me off, which made me raise my voice, and I told her to leave my house. She asked me if I was serious, and I said I was. She got upset, called me a jerk, grabbed her things from my room, and left. She posted the video not long after. It didn't go viral or anything, but it was gaining some traction, which made me even more upset. She captioned it, My Little Drama Queen, and kept liking comments from people saying things like, and they call us women dramatic, or comments laughing and poking fun at my face while I was screaming. I texted her to take it down, but she refused and said that it might go viral. She said that she wasn't going to talk to me until I stopped being a bee. Well, I slept on it, and it got me thinking that maybe I'm just overreacting. It was just a prank, and I shouldn't have raised my voice at her, but at the same time, I could have hit my head on the counter or floor when I passed out. She didn't even help me up or immediately ask if I was okay. She just kept laughing even up until I woke up. So, am I the jerk for being upset at my girlfriend for a fake knife prank? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, you're definitely not the jerk. And OP, I would seriously reevaluate this relationship. She does not care about you. She cares about making TikToks. Like, I cannot imagine. Like, first of all, she knows you don't like these pranks. So, like, you should not prank people who do not want to be pranked. But even after she pranked you, once you passed out, like, why wasn't her immediate reaction like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, like helping you up and everything? No, she's just staying there laughing hysterically.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing funny about that. Like you pointed out, you could have gotten hurt. She put you in such a horrible situation. And then proceeded to use this for TikTok clout.
Yeah. Like, a prank shouldn't cause physical or emotional distress.
Yes.
At this point in time, it's just bullying, right? Like, she's making OP the butt end of her jokes. She's not laughing with OP, she's laughing at OP along with everyone else, right? And at that point in time, that's not a prank, that's just being cruel, mean, and a bully. And I think that that is really telling of her character. And I think it's even more telling, like what Amber was saying, that she didn't even help OP up. She didn't even ask if he was okay or anything like that, and realized that the prank had gone too far. She just thought it was funny and thought that, ah ha ha, yeah, I can't believe he's being so weak or something like that, right? Now the thing is, like, when people have panic responses like this, you can't control what happens a lot of times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, passing out is an involuntary thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not like OP was like, oh, I really want to pass out today, right? No, there are just some times when your body is like, oh, this is too much stress, I'm going to pass out now, bye. And that's really what it boils down to, right? You can't, it just isn't something that you can, control. And I think that she's being extraordinarily cruel, and was just a really mean thing to do to them, right? And OP sincerely thought that she was trying to stab him with a knife, right? So there was a lot of distress there. So yeah, no, I don't think that OP's in the wrong, and I think that OP should really reconsider this relationship. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
What's a pirate's favorite letter in the alphabet?
R, me mateys.
Well, R, yes.
Yeah, well, I added the mateys. There's not the mateys in the alphabet. And I have Mega Mint. Apparently, Brian never learned his alphabet. And folks, today is a very special day. Today is a UVC test card day. So all you need to do is hold this into the light, and if it has UVC or UV, the little patterns light up and tell you that. So yeah, you can always test to see if something actually has the proper UV frequencies. And if you are using UV light, then you should always wear eye protection. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Manic Monday, folks. I hope your Monday is off to a great start. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on being a cruel, mean bully.
Don't.
Yeah. But thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.